So it was a typical winter day here in New York. Here, myself and Vong Asphalt stood, after 10 years of thriving within the dyno life, finally taking the plunge on both a Harley-Davidson Road Glide and Street Glide. To quote a rather prophetic comment in a recent video, all roads lead to baggers. And as much as we strive to stray from this path, destiny and fate are an inevitability as much as the sun setting at the end of the day. But how did we get here? And why here? Why now? And of course, why these bikes? Well, sit down and grab yourself a non-alcoholic beverage, because this one might take a minute. If you followed us back in the early days, then you know what the ethos of our content has always been. Publicly rejecting the Grand American Touring line altogether in exchange for something that was lighter, faster, and cheaper. We didn't just talk the talk, but we walked the walk, laying down over 150,000 miles between these two dynas, and achieving multiple Ride 1K in 1 days, as well as closing out many long-distance bike trips. Quite simply, we were doing the sport touring thing well before it was recognized, opting for a path of simplicity over all the bells and whistles that came with the bagger platform. But then, the model year of 2024 had happened. Harley-Davidson would not just make a couple of nice changes, but would completely revamp their bagger platform to satiate the cravings of those of us within the sport touring world. Baggers that were lighter, faster, and with a more affordable price tag than years past. These bikes did the two main things that we need our bikes to do. Number one, be able to handle our default insane riding conditions here in New York City. Number two, be able to stack the real miles on the long road. If you saw my recent full-length movie, then you watched me effortlessly ride a stock 2024 Street Glide coast to coast and back. If that trip made anything clear, it was that in terms of purely crushing miles, these new baggers held the crown. There is no competition. So again, the fact that we saw firsthand the amount of potential that these bikes had to offer within their stock form had us both dreaming what they potentially could become within the realm of custom performance that we both thrive in, and hence, how we found ourselves standing in front of two brand new baggers. With the LIRR rumbling past, we found ourselves beginning yet another new journey. Going on 9 years ago at this point, I had also purchased my Dyna Lowrider S from here at the Nassau County Harley-Davidson, so it felt appropriate to begin a new path here as well. Over the last 10 years, this hometown dealership has always been there when we needed them, and we're excited to have them be part of this new chapter. Honestly, given that my content has always been grounded within the dyno world, I thought that we would receive a lot of pushback when we began dipping our toes into the bagger life. I was, however, surprised to see the amount of enthusiasm we received of just making efforts to mix it up within our content this year. With only 12 miles on the odometer, we fired the bikes up, relishing that new bike smell from an unbroken-in motor. Before laying down the first 100 miles on these bikes, we had to celebrate this moment in the most appropriate way at the legendary Sunrise Diner. With the pancakes crushed, it was now time to crush the preliminary miles with these brand new bikes. first 100 miles were jaw-dropping and brought us straight back to our summer coast-to-coast trip. Out of any stock Harley-Davidson that was previously offered, these two bikes clearly stood apart from the rest. We would park the bikes at a familiar location, both of us just feeling like this moment was unreal. Who knew that stacking miles on our ratchet New York City Dynas would bring us down to a new path? So there is a massive amount of upcoming content coming soon in regards to these new bikes and our plans for them going forward. The angle we could offer you within the content is fairly unique. Two riders who have been doing the very thing that these bikes were designed to do within the last 10 years, but on something that was more minimal and stripped down. So if anyone could appreciate the capabilities, it would be us. We will always stay true to the Dyna life, and no, both of our 2016 Dyna Lowrider S's are going nowhere. For the majority of you who have supported and encouraged us within this new direction, we thank you sincerely and look forward to keeping it going. As always, whether you're ripping on the Dyna platform or the Bagger platform, keep that PMA and outride your demons. We do have the finest merch available for anyone who's trying to crush it this season, and on that, the Iron Alliance is out.
Goodbye.